excited about it. Tonight, we're not doing a workshop, we're actually just having a party. So we have a comedian here. Hopefully we'll do some line dancing for anybody who knows how to line dance. But we are going to celebrate 5 years in the ministry. So we have to give God all the glory and honor first, so we will not do anything without having prayer first. And then we're going to have Sister Wanda come up and give us prayer, and then we're going to have a moment of silence for our deceased members. One's name is Yolanda, and another one's name is Celeste. I won't go into how they died, but the bottom line is they were a part of Saved, Single, and Celibate Ministries, and we do want to remember them. So without further ado, Sister Wanda, come up and give us a prayer, please.
We will bless thee, O Lord, for we are fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are thy works, and that our soul knoweth right well. We thank you, Father God, for this day you have made. We thank you, Father God, that we can come together and celebrate the 5th anniversary of Saved, Single, and Celibate. We ask you, Father God, to continue to bless and strengthen the founder and leader, Joanne. Continue to pour into her spirit that she may be able to pour out to the singles what it is that you would have for them, Father God. We pray your continued blessing over everyone who is gathered together today, and we pray your blessings over those who are not able to make it today, as this is a global ministry, Lord. So I ask that you meet each and every person that's a member of Single, Saved, Single, and Celibate. Bless them with the blessing we see that they stand in need of. And Father God, if there's any among us that are sick, that's in need of a healing, we pray in the name of Jesus that you heal them, Lord. And if it's not your will to heal, we ask that you ease their pain. And Father God, we want to bless and lift up the family over the members who have passed on, Father God. Be with their families. Continue to comfort and keep them and help them remember the good times that they've had with their families, Lord. And the only thing we would ask of ourselves, Father God, that you allow us to let our light so shine before men, that they can see our good works and glorify you, our Father who art in heaven, and we'll be so mindful and so careful to give your name the praise all the rest of our days. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, while she's up, we're going to get her to bless the food too.
Father God, we thank you for the food that has been prepared for us for the nourishment of our bodies, and we ask that you strengthen us. Father God, we ask that you bless those that don't have food to eat. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wanda.
So now we're going to have just a moment of silence. I normally see people do this in church where you have a moment of silence, but I do just want to say just a couple of things about Yolanda and Celeste. Neither one of them did I know personally as a girlfriend, but because they joined the ministry, I got to know them. So Yolanda was in another state, excuse me. Yolanda was actually in another state, and when I met her, her mother was sick, her brother was sick, her mother passed, I spent time with her on the phone. Her brother passed, I spent time with her on the phone. She met a guy, she decided to get married, I was on her phone. So we talked about her wedding, we put pictures up of her engagement ring, and some things went really, really bad, and then her life ended tragically. So she was a sister, even though I never really got to know her, but I got to know her over the phone. So if you ever think that you can't get to know someone without being up close, that's really not true. You can become very close to a person just by talking to them on the phone. The other sister I met at a vending fair, and I bought a bracelet from her, and I started to give it away today, but every time I look at it, I think of her. And then she came and joined the ministry, but that's how I met her. She was selling jewelry, and I supported her. The next thing you know, she was a part of Saved, Single, and Celibate Ministries. So for those of you that are here for the first time, I see you too. It's a ministry for saved people, all Christians, single people, so you could be separated, divorced, or whatever, as long as you're single. But we have a sister here that's married, but she always comes in and supports her, and we thank you for coming. And then last and not least is celibacy. So if we're gonna live a life that's pleasing to God, I'm not asking anybody if you're celibate, if you're not, what you're doing, that's all personal, it's between you and God, but we're striving to live a life that's holy unto the Lord, so that's why celibate is a part of our group. So purity, celibate, abstinence is all about living a life as a Christian single that's holy unto the Lord. And that's pretty much what we're about. We have a Facebook page, we have an Instagram page. So if you want to follow us, and for those that are now on social media, you guys have my phone number. And this is always our location. We want to thank Donna. Donna is my girlfriend. This was my girlfriend since high school, and she is the manager of this building. So as long as I let the seniors come to the multi-purpose room, we can have anything as long as the seniors are a part of it. So it's not a certain age barrier for our ministry. It can be young. Sometimes I have my grandkids with me. As long as you're single, as long as you're saved, you can come. No age limit, young, old. So if you have young people with you and you want to bring them, bring them. Because we can all have this conversation. And it is hard living this life. I'm not even going to play like it's easy. But when your first priority is living a life that's pleasing to God, and when your first priority is trying to get to heaven, if you should close your eyes a day, then it makes it a little bit easier because you're trying to do the right thing so that you will hear God say, well done in the end. And on that note, we're going to have a moment of silence for Celeste and for Monica. And may they rest in peace.
Amen.
And we're going to serve the
and he passed this room, and this man looked back at me and said, what's all them clocks for in that room? He said, oh, everyone has a clock. He said, whenever you told a lie, the second hand moved 1 second. Every time you told a lie. To see that clock over there, that's Dr. Martin Luther King's clock. Second hand ain't never moved. See that clock? That's George Washington's clock. Second hand moved 1 time. See that clock over there? That's Abraham Lincoln's clock. And he was going all around the room pointing out different clocks. And the man was still just looking all around. He said, what are you looking for? He said, oh, I'm looking for Donald Trump's clock. He said, oh, God that got that in his office and using it for a fan. He said, am I white with black stripes? Or am I black with white stripes? The monkey said, how am I supposed to know? He said, you gotta ask God. So the zebra went away. When the zebra came back, the monkey said, well, what did God say? He said, God said, you are what you are. So the monkey said, well, then you're white. He said, well, how do you know I'm white? He said, because if you were black, he would have said you is what you is. So the pastor said to himself, you know, young people are so fickle. I don't know how serious they might be. So he told all 3 couples, he said, if you all can abstain from sex for 1 week, when you come back, I will welcome you in the doors of the church. So they all agreed, and they did. So a week later, the 3 couples came back, and the first couple said, Pastor, we were really doing well. We really tried to abstain, but we just couldn't get past Tuesday. He said, oh, I'm sorry, you're not welcome in the doors of the church. So I went to the second couple. He said, how did you make out? They said, Pastor, we got to know each other all over again. We spent quality time together. We talked, we laughed, we cuddled. We just enjoyed each other's company. And we made it all the way up to 2 o'clock this morning. The pastor said, you know what? You made it past midnight. Welcome in the doors of the church. Got to the third couple. He said, how'd you make out? The husband said, Pastor, we were really doing good. I got to know a brand new friend in my wife. He said, I learned so much more about her because I listened for a change. You know, men don't really listen. I listened to my wife. We enjoyed each other's company, and we were really having a wonderful time. He said, but Pastor, I gotta tell you, my wife bent over that freezer to get that meat. I'm sorry, Pastor, I lost it. I'm sorry. I've got to be honest with you, I lost it. The pastor said, well, I'm sorry, y'all are not welcome in the joys of the church. He said, Pastor, don't worry about it. We ain't welcome back in that supermarket either. So she said, can someone tell me why they took baby Jesus to Bethlehem? Little boy raised his hand. She said, okay, tell me, son, why did they take baby Jesus to Bethlehem? He said, because they ain't had no babysitter. There was this Catholic school, and the kids were in the cafeteria lining up to eat. So at the front of the line, there was a basket of chocolate chip cookies. So the sign on the basket read, please take one cookie. Jesus is watching. So the kids went through the line, and at the end of the line, there was a basket of apples. So one of the kids put a sign on the basket of apples that said, take as many apples as you want, Jesus watching the cookies. That's not really a true story, because the whale's throat isn't big enough to swallow a whole man. This fresh little girl said, it is so true, because I read it in the Bible. She said, young lady, it's not a true story, it's just meant to explain something to you in the Bible. She said, I know it's true, and when I get to heaven, I'm going to ask Jonah. She said, well, sweetheart, suppose Jonah didn't go to heaven. She said, well, then you can ask him.